Alright, I know the last video that I did, I said would be the last of the night, but I forgot to get my thoughts on Christian. This is my thoughts on Christian. It's really starting to look like that it'll probably be Edge and Christian at WrestleMania for the world title, or sometimes with the SmackDown picture being as bad, if not worse, than the Raw picture and stuff. So this is my thoughts on Christian. I know Christian has been out for a while. He had an arm injury that he suffered a few months ago because of Del Rio or something like that. This is my thoughts on Christian, though. I'm glad to see Christian back in WWE, and I would love to see him win a world title in WWE, since Christian has won every championship in WWE except for a world or WWE championship. You know, he had all those tag titles with Edge, and then he had a couple intercontinental titles. He won the European title, he won the hardcore championship, he was even light heavyweight title, or won the light heavyweight title when he debuted. He's won the ECW title, and now it's really time for him to either win the WWE or World's Heavyweight Championship. I don't know why Christian ever left TNA. I'm not saying that Christian would have had 10 title reigns by now, but you know that in reality he probably would have at least got 2 to 3 more, so he'd probably be about a 6-time world champion if he would have stayed in TNA. When he made his debut in TNA back in 2005, I was honestly shocked to see it. I think maybe he was getting ready to get his push then. You know, he had just had a triple threat match with John Cena and Chris Jericho for the WWE Championship, which he lost. But for the most part, I think he was getting ready to get a push then. So I don't know why he left. I don't know if he just got tired, because he's been there for a while and didn't get the recognition. TNA offered him more money. What the case was, I know he didn't get fired when he left. He left and then he debuted in TNA, pretty much kind of the way Kurt Angle did. And anyway, I think it was a big mistake for Christian to leave TNA and go to WWE. I always felt that Christian, even back in the Edge and Christian days, I always felt that Christian had what it took to be a top mid-carder to low to mid-status main event. I don't think he would have won 3 championships in WWE like he did in TNA, but I think that he should at least been a one-time, well, not in the era that he wrestled in anyway, that in WWE, but he should at least been a champion at least one time. I don't know why he came back. I know this video is kind of old to do this, that he's been there for a while now, but I was just thinking about it and stuff, and you know, this goes back to what's wrong with WWE nowadays. And what's wrong with WWE nowadays is that on Raw you really have no mid-card faces. It's like the land of the superstars, and then like the mid-card, all except for Daniel Bryan, all except for John Morrison, is kind of weak. And you know, it's crazy. And then on SmackDown you have all these heels, but you have no real faces, you know. So I think that's why they was doing NXT, is to try to get some of these mid-card talents in, and you know, try to build them for new superstars instead of going the Tough Enough route, which I know that it's all over the internet. I know they're supposed to be coming back, so NXT is probably done. I think NXT would be and is smarter to have been Tough Enough, just for the simple fact that these guys come from FCW, which is WWE Developmental Territory, which used to be OCW, and then, you know, so forth, so on and stuff. But I think NXT would be a smarter choice to have than Tough Enough, just for the simple reason that NXT, they come from FCW, so they've been around, they've been in other promotions, they've been in FCW for a while. You know, they have their training, they have their wrestling, where if you go out and you do Tough Enough, you're basically getting people from the streets, and call it what you want, but you know it's true. You're basically getting people from the streets to come in and hopefully be a big star. And if you think about it, what has the Tough Enough winners done? Maven ain't done nothing. He started getting a little bit of push, and then he just fell off and just disappeared. And Morrison, he competed in Tough Enough. I don't think he ever won it, but he competed, but didn't really work out. Mercury didn't work out. You know, you have all these. Daniel Pooter didn't work out. And I thought Pooter actually had what it took to be a superstar. Believe it or not, I actually liked him. But you know, you have all these people, and it never worked. Even Josh Matthews was in the first Tough Enough. I kid you not. I was watching the first Tough Enough video, and I saw the commentary, however you say it, Josh Matthews, and the Tough Enough. So I mean, you get all these people, and it's like it's senseless to have Tough Enough. It's nice, but you know, Tough Enough is not the Ultimate Fighter. I know the Ultimate Fighter came last, but Tough Enough is not the Ultimate Fighter. Alright, Ultimate Fighter has spawned off countless champions, and Tough Enough ain't spawned off nothing. Yes, Miz WWE champion now, and he competed in Tough Enough, but he did not win Tough Enough. And that's what I'm trying to get at here, is that WWE needs to go out, and instead of sending these guys to FCW that they get from other promotions and stuff, they need to call him up on the roster. Like Kaval was a star in TNA. Would he ever been a world champion in TNA? Probably not. But he dominated the X Division, and Kaval could actually have great title matches with the Intercontinental Championship on SmackDown, with the Rey Mysterios, with the Cody Rhodes, with the Drew McIntyres, with Kofi Kingston, with Jack Swagger, and so forth and so on. If WWE would just give him a push. You know, he won NXT Season 2 because that was what the fans wanted. The fans voted for him. Unlike Barrett with Season 1, where it was really up to the pros and stuff, which now we all know why, because they was doing this Nexus angle. But instead of with Barrett, like Barrett with Season 1, Kaval actually won Season 2 because this is what the fans want. So Vince, the fans is telling you what they want, so give the guy a push. You gave Barrett a push. Now look, Barrett's had 1, 2, 3, 4 WWE Championship matches in like 3 months. 2 months. 3 months. He's had 4 title matches. Kaval has won 1 match since winning Season 2. So, give him a push. Christian, he needs his push. If you don't, Christian needs to go back to TNA where he'd be a star. I'm out. I'll holler at you later. Peace.